Welcome back to the A-Game.
On this episode, we'll go over the Mountaineers' dominant win against Georgia State along with previewing their tough upcoming road schedule. We'll also discuss the odd start to the season so far for the Carolina Panthers.
You'll also hear our takes on UFC 280, the recent Nascar drama, and the wild postseason so far in the MLB.
We'll also have our very own Jeff, Eric, Hunter, and myself face off in a special trivia segment.
So guys, what do you think about that big bounce-back win for the Mountaineers?
It was one that was much needed. They got off to a slow start, down 14-0 in the first quarter, and they didn't score until there was 3:13 left in the first half. But after that, they turned it on. It was a 42-3 run for App State. Chase Bryce didn't play his best game, went 7 of 17 for 62 yards. But Cameron Peoples, the running back, had his best game of the season, rushing the ball 23 times, 168 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Running the ball was a story of the game. 4 different Mountaineers scored rushing touchdowns, and they ran for over 400 yards as a team, and that's exactly what App State needed.
Great job by head coach Sean Clark as well to recognize the game script and the pace of the game because, I think he learned from the blown James Madison lead where they got out to a great start. And obviously they didn't get out to a great start versus Georgia State, but he recognized the pace of the game and said, hey, let's run the ball. And then it turned into a 1960s NFL game where every play was like the Citadel and they were just running it. I mean, you talked about Cam Peoples, 22 carries, 2 touchdowns, 168 rush yards, and a 41-yard longest rush for him. But how about Anderson Castle, 7 carries, 1 touchdown, 50 rush yards, and his longest run was 21 yards. And he reminds me of a big, burly 2010 Peyton Hillis type fullback. And honestly, what about Chase Bryce getting 5 carries for 2 touchdowns of his own? But awful throwing performance from Bryce.
I didn't even think it was necessary. You can say it was bad, but either way,
right.
App State was running the ball so well that it didn't even matter.
Right. No, it's one of those things where it's like, hey, you don't really need to throw it as much, so it's okay to have a Baker Mayfield type game. But the running game got it done.
And the defense looked a lot better as well. They got off to that rough start with defending the option, but after that they made some adjustments, got some things figured out, and really kept Aaron Granger bottled up.
Yeah, last thing I got to say is the weather. I mean, shoot, producer Liam and Eric, I know they're in the control room right now. I'm pretty sure their feet froze off because of how cold it was. I don't think Georgia State was prepared for that.
Not a chance. What do you guys think of the rest of the tough road schedule App State has?
Yeah, coming up, there's the Robert Morris game first, which,
Shoo-in.
push over. We had to schedule it because Marshall became a conference game, so we had to get a non-conference game in. That's what happens in football. You got to schedule somebody. But either way, these 2 teams, Coastal Carolina and Marshall. Coastal we play on a Thursday. Marshall we play at their place on a Saturday. Both teams have winning records. Coastal 6-1. Marshall is 4-3 right now. Coastal has been very good in the past year on offense, but their defense is what put them over the top the past couple of years. That defense is not there this year, giving up 414 yards per game. And then Marshall this past week beat James Madison, which I didn't really expect. James Madison was playing their backup quarterback, which we should know. But both teams are playing good football right now, and they actually play each other this week. So that should be a good one to watch for App State fans.
It's funny you bring up James Madison because the other road game, which is our last game of the year, Georgia Southern, they beat JMU, and they were number 25 at the time. And for the road games that we have left overall, I'm not very confident because we lost to Texas State on the road. And Texas State is not one of the better teams in the Sun Belt. So really, I don't know what to expect going into it. I think we lose against Coastal, close loss against Marshall, and then a win against Georgia Southern.
Like losses in both?
I don't know. I don't have the same confidence, man. I want to be proven wrong because that means we won. Viewers out there, you can clown me if we lose. If we win, because I want us to win. Got to have a hot take, right? Got to have one.
I would be glad to clown you after we win at least one of them.
Yeah.
But Yeah, I mean, if you watch App State, the second half against Georgia State, if they play like that against anyone in the Sun Belt, then they're going to beat anyone they play.
Absolutely. Don't go anywhere because we'll go over the recent dominant stretch for fall sports. Welcome back to the A Game. Now we'll hear about the other fall sports' recent success along with exclusive interviews.
The App State soccer team finished their home season this weekend with a victory over Louisiana 3-1. This earned them a spot in the Sun Belt tournament. Katie Fuller scored the first 2 goals for App State, and Izzy Wood clinched the victory for the Mountaineers in the second half with a goal. App State controlled the majority of the game, outshooting the Ragin' Cajuns 16-8. The team also played the most dominant offense ever, which ultimately brought them the win. The team will travel to San Marcos to face off against Texas State in their last regular season game. The Sun Belt tournament begins October 31st in Foley, Alabama, so good luck to our Mountaineers.
The App State volleyball team swept Marshall this past weekend and secured their 6th consecutive win, making their record 13-8. Sophomore Lulu Ambrose and senior McCall Denny led the team in kills with 12 and 10. The Mountaineers outpaced the Bison in points 50-38. Head coach Sarah Rumley Noble spoke very proudly of her team, saying, "We played really good volleyball. We played as a unit." Up next, App State volleyball will travel to Norfolk, Virginia to take on Old Dominion. And now we'll hear our very own Paula McKenna with some exclusive interviews with your App State volleyball team.
Hi, I'm Paula with the A Game, and we're here for the second game against Marshall, and hopefully the Lady Mountaineers can follow up with another win. I'm here with Sophie. So Sophie, what set do you think you guys played the best in?
Today's game, definitely the second set. We were just really assertive and our foot was on the gas the whole time. There was no let up. We were really focused and disciplined, and we just came out with a bang and took charge of the set.
So there's only a few weeks left in the season. What are you looking forward to most on your way to the Sun Belt Conference Finals?
I'm excited to see how many more wins we're going to pick up and put ourselves in a really good position going into the tournament. Obviously, we were picked to finish last. I'm just really happy that we're coming out, proving a bunch of people wrong this season.
Great, thank you so much.
Thank you.
App State field hockey is having a great season with a winning record of 11-5. This weekend they played Queen's University and won 10-1, bringing them their 7th straight win with 10 goals scored. This is the second most in program history. Excellent defensive work from senior goalkeeper Addie Clark, limiting Marshall to only 1 goal. App State will finish their regular season on the next game, where they will travel to Ohio on Friday and then to Davidson on Sunday.
Big news out of Charlotte. The Panthers get the first win with App State alum Steve Wilkes as their interim coach against Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. We now have footage from an exclusive press conference. Let's take a look.
had 2 busts. We had a bust on that 60-yard run. We had a bust on another run. Defense cannot play well and then have 2 busted coverages that you put in from day one and 2 busted running plays and then expect to win the ball game. It's not a 3.5 quarter ball game. It's not a play good 58 out of 62 time ball game. And so we understand that. And I don't care what year you are in the league, whether you're a 10-year vet or you're a rookie, you got to understand how to play and when to play and to make plays. We got to understand that as coaches as well.
We're trying to win every game, so anytime you lose one game, it's no fun. You lose 2, it's worse. So we just got to figure it out. We're going to dig deep, try to do things a lot better. We just, we talked about execution every day, and it still comes up. I think we just all have to do our job better. There's no easy way about it. It's, they're trying to keep us from doing our job. We're trying to do it, and they're doing a better job than we are. The time you score 3 points, that pretty much sums it up.
Let's go!
To a place where you can grow.
A place to be heard.
And take a closer look.
A place where you can crush it.
And push yourself.
A place to find your voice.
This place rocks. And rolls.
A place where you can get out.
Wow!
A place you'll never forget.
So where is this place? Let me show you.
Life is a journey. We're told that there are mountains and valleys before us. A mountaineer trudges through. Where others see an obstacle, a mountaineer sees an opportunity. A mountaineer climbs tomorrow's mountains today. So what is a mountaineer? A mountaineer is you.
Welcome back to the A Game. So Noah, NASCAR headed down to South Beach. What happened?
Well, if you watched, you would have known that NASCAR was at Homestead, Miami. Now, first of all, in the Cup Series, Kyle Larson won the Dixie Vodka 400 at Homestead, Miami. It was a dominant race by the 2021 NASCAR Cup Series champion, but unfortunately, he was knocked out of the 2022 NASCAR Cup Series playoffs in the round of 8 at the Charlotte Motor Speedway because of errors on his part and his team's part. Not as consistent as he was in 2021. He was last year's champion, and get this, he won 10 races. Think about how hard it is to win, 14 games in an NFL season. That's the equivalent when you talk about winning 10 races in NASCAR. And he won at Phoenix, which is this year's championship and has been the championship for the last 2 to 3 years. He led 199 out of 267 laps and had a 1.267 second victory. That's huge margin. Ross Chastain came in second, and it's an amazing season for the Pitbull-owned Trackhouse Racing. Yes, Pitbull owns a NASCAR team for everybody who didn't know. In the Xfinity Series, talking one step down from the Cup Series now, Noah Gragson won the Contender Boats 250. It was his 8th win of the year, driving for Junior Motorsports, Dale Jr.'s team, Junebug. Shout out to them. He's the absolute championship favorite. Nobody else in the Xfinity Series comes close to him other than Ty Gibbs, and we know the Gibbs name here at App State for many reasons, but this Gibbs is a NASCAR driver. Ty Gibbs is really close. He's 20, and he's won 4 or 5 races this year, but Noah Gragson is on a different level. He led 127 out of the 200 laps, and like I said, driving for Dale Jr. Noah Gragson's only 23. I'm 21. I don't feel like I'm doing enough with my life. In the Truck Series, the 3rd highest level of NASCAR, Ty Majeski won the Baptist Health 200. And for him, think of like a story, like a David Tyree helmet catch, or like somebody who walked on to a football team from the practice squad and got the opportunity. This is Ty Majeski. Up and down career, fought for every opportunity he had. Part-time series, part-time in the Xfinity Series, good in iRacing and in late models. And he's a race engineer for the team. Most drivers, they help out with the car, but for the most part, they usually just hop in the car and drive and let the race engineers do the job. He's got hands on everything, which is maybe why he won. This is his 2nd walk-off win in the NASCAR Truck Series playoffs, and he won in the round of 10 and in the round of 8 to get him to the championship 4 at Phoenix. I don't know him, but through a friend of a friend, he's one of the nicest drivers on the series right now. So congratulations to Ty Majeski. Now the next race is in Martinsville, Virginia, at a paperclip. I know. I'm almost done talking about NASCAR, but I promise this is big because Martinsville, think of it as like an App State parking lot sized track. Nowhere to go, nowhere to pass, crashes, bumping, banging, fights. That's what's going to happen next week at Martinsville. I don't really have any predictions for that because that's how crazy Martinsville is, but my eyes are on the championship, and that's going to be a big race. I wish I was in Phoenix, but I can't be there. But for now, Homestead Miami was a great weekend. Speaking of big weekends, Paula, it's UFC time. Lay it on us.
Right. So UFC 280 happened this weekend, and it was a co-main event. Okay. But first, Sean O'Malley fought Peter Yan. Peter was the favorite, it was a good bit, because people think that O'Malley has the tendency to be hesitant against higher level competition. But if you watch it, you know that Sean O'Malley won, and it was a great fight. Going into it, O'Malley was ranked 11 and Yan was ranked 1, which does not mean he had the belt. They both landed great shots, but I thought O'Malley looked better the entire fight. So the second fight that in the co-main event, well, the first one, was Sterling versus Dillashaw. And going into it, I didn't know who I wanted to win because I honestly didn't really care about those two. I was there for Sean O'Malley and Charles Oliveira. So it was really interesting because going into the first round, Dillashaw and Sterling, they were swinging, okay? And then all of a sudden, Sterling went for a takedown, and Dillashaw's shoulder popped out of the socket. And the dude kept fighting. It was crazy. He kept going.
Wow.
He was on the ground, and every time he tried to get up, he winced a little bit. But then the round ended. He went back to his corner. They popped it back in. It back in, right? And he came out and he fought, but he wasn't really punching at all. He just kind of was letting his arm flap, and then it popped out of socket again. He then put it back in socket, but it ended in the second round, and Sterling won. But Sterling was the favorite, so it's what people expected because he had the belt. And then the last fight was Charles Oliveira against Islam, excuse my pronunciation, Makhachev. And I thought that Islam was going to win because he is actually training with Khabib, which, if you guys don't know, he was 29-0 in his UFC career, and I thought he should come back for a 30th win, but he hasn't. So that fight was really interesting because Oliveira has the most finishes in the MMA at 19, and they came out and they really put on a show. Oliveira ended up losing, which I can say I was happy about because I don't really like Oliveira. I like him, but the weight class was kind of perceived as a joke because you go from Khabib to Tony Ferguson to Justin Gaethje and then Oliveira. But Jeff, what is going on in postseason baseball?
Yeah, so we just finished up the championship series. We'll start with the NLCS first because the Phillies clinched their spot first. The Phillies won the series 4-1, and they've had the big lineup the entire year, but finally they came out and started acting like it. Rhys Hoskins, who's been with the Phillies for I think a decade now, had 4 home runs and 7 RBIs in the 5-game series against the Padres. Insane. Kyle Schwarber, who is a power hitter, played for the Red Sox last year and had a good postseason there, and then comes to the Phillies. 0 home runs against the Cardinals and the Braves in the first 2 series, and then he hit 3 against the Padres. So he's turning it on. And Bryce Harper, the MVP, he's been unbelievable. He was one of those guys coming up through the system where he's a generational prospect, and I can pretty confidently say that he's lived up to the hype throughout his career. He's hitting .419 in the postseason, which is insane. He's on a 10-game hit streak. He has 7 multi-hit games in the postseason. They've only played 11, and he had the go-ahead home run against the Padres in Game 5 to seal the deal there. So Bryce Harper is going into this World Series red hot, and they know their opponent. They are facing the Houston Astros, who are back in the World Series again after sweeping the Yankees 4-0. Look, the Yankees did not look good against the Astros at all. They had seven regular starters who hit under 200, which includes Aaron Judge, who's going to be the MVP, Giancarlo Stanton, Josh Donaldson, Gleyber Torres, those guys. And on the Astros, talking more about the Astros, a lot of people thought, losing Carlos Correa to free agency would hurt them. But rookie shortstop Jeremy Pena has come in and done a great job this postseason, hitting over 300, had the home run to clinch the series against the Mariners, had 2 home runs against the Yankees in the series, including the 3-run home run in Game 4 that tie the game early, and their bullpen has been fantastic. The relief pitchers for the Astros only have 2 earned runs this postseason, and their closer, Ryan Presley, is 4 for 4 on save chances, had 3 in the Yankees series. So World Series starts on Friday. Phillies and Astros, it should be pretty entertaining. Both teams are going in red hot.
Mm-hmm. Who do you think's going to win?
I hope the Phillies win. I mean, I like everyone else, and firmly against what the Astros did a few years ago, but I think it's going to be really competitive. The Phillies only won 87 games going into the postseason. They're still the big underdog, I feel like, coming into this, but they're hitting and pitching so well that I think they're going to give the Astros a battle.
Yeah, absolutely. Stay where you are, because after the break, we will have some of our crew here for an exciting sports trivia segment. Now we'll hear from our very own Jeff, Eric, Hunter, and Noah in a special sports trivia segment.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this special segment of the A Game. We're going to be doing some sports trivia for y'all. I'm Noah, this is Hunter, producer Eric, and Jeff, all here. We're going to be answering some questions. And speaking of which, we got Paula behind the camera who's going to be feeding them to us. So let's get right into it. Paula, you ready?
Sure I am. So in 1990, 2 Major League greats made baseball history by becoming the first father-son duo to hit back-to-back homers in an MLB game. Who are they?
That was Jeff.
Ken Griffey Jr. and Ken Griffey Sr.
That is correct.
Hands. Oh, crap.
Oh, man. You didn't even let her finish the question.
If I know the answer, I'm going to keep going,
All right. 1 Jeff. Jeff 1-0.
Yeah, let's roll.
So the second question, what's the diameter of a basketball hoop in inches?
Is skip an option?
That's a good question.
Hunter. 30. It's a guess.
Nope.
Noah, 24.
Nope.
Eric 26.
Nope.
I guess I got to throw my hat in the ring. I'll go ahead and say Jeff, 18.
That is correct.
Are you kidding me?
What? Sorry.
See, I knew the answer the entire time. I was just playing around.
I don't.
This is not fair, man.
I'm just kidding. I had no idea. That was a total guess.
All right.
That was a total guess.
All right. Back to it.
Okay, question number 3. How many states, not cities, have a professional sports team in the NBA, NHL, NFL, and MLB?
Noah, 16.
No.
Eric 5.
No.
What?
5?
Yeah,
Hunter.
All 4?
30.
Yeah, right? Did I miss it?
No.
Is it all 4 in the same state?
No, I thought.
All 4 in the same state.
Oh, wait.
Oh, I totally misheard that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Doing some math in my head. My big head.
Hunter, 2.
No.
Oh, crap. I forgot.
Then 5 was a good guess. I feel bad for clowning,
I know.
I'll go ahead and say 6.
No.
4.
Darn.
We've all guessed.
Yeah.
The answer is 12.
Darn.
Who said 15? Was it
I said 16.
Oh well. Next question.
Next question.
Besides the Buffalo Bills, what is the only other team in NFL history to lose all 4 of their Super Bowl appearances?
Jeff, Minnesota Vikings?
That is correct.
No.
I'm not having fun. No, I am having fun.
That's what I'm at.
Jeff!
Eric's a favorite if you looked at the A-Game poll on the Instagram story that the A-Game Sports posted. Nice plug. At A-Game Sports on Instagram and Twitter. There was a poll we put up, and Eric was the favorite. So.
Nice plug, Jeff.
I don't know how, but next question. I don't want that support. It's not going well.
During his NBA debut in 1984, what team did Michael Jordan defeat after his 16 points, 7 assists, 6 rebounds, 4 blocks, and 2 steals?
Noah, San Antonio Spurs.
No.
Dang it.
Eric, Cleveland Cavaliers.
No.
That was a good guess, Eric.
That was a good guess.
I don't.
I just saw the Jordan post on
So
LinkedIn.
if I mean, I don't know the answer, but I can guess.
I don't know the
you know?
Might as well.
Give a guess.
Jeff, Detroit Pistons.
No.
New York Knicks.
No.
Oh.
The answer is the Washington Bullets.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
It's embarrassing.
Tough one.
Yeah.
No, it's okay.
Actually, the Washington Zephyrs, though. Okay.
Okay. So against what opposing team did Babe Ruth hit his first career home run?
Noah. The Spiders.
No.
I thought I knew that. Sorry, I hit the desk. Oh my gosh.
I think it'd be a pretty good guess to just say the Red Sox.
No.
Okay. Oh, he was on.
Oh, Eric, the Yankees?
Yeah.
I knew that one.
He started on the Red
Yes,
Sox.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
We're in it together.
Big brain fart from me.
I knew that. Watch this episode get like 300 views. I'd be like, oh my god.
In meters, how big is an Olympic-sized swimming pool?
Noah, 100 meters.
No.
That's yards.
Can't say I've measured a pool before.
I go swimming all the time.
Really
It's
appreciating
yards.
answers with these questions.
Oh no, I know.
Oh, Jeff, 50 meters.
Yes. Do you know how wide?
What? There's like bonus?
No,
Whoa,
we're not
whoa,
doing it.
whoa.
The question was how long. I'm not.
Okay. How long?
Yeah.
50 meters is correct.
Yeah. I got it.
What NFL team lost the Super Bowl in 1970?
Noah, Washington. Ooh, can I say this on the air?
The answer is no.
I know.
1970.
The Bills.
No.
Oh, Eric, the Eagles?
No.
That would have been funny.
That would have been hilarious.
Oh no.
Jeff, the Chiefs.
No.
Is it the Steelers?
Yeah, I mean.
The answer is the Vikings.
All the
double
purple
Viking Super Bowl losing questions is one evil and two it's any Vikings fans watching. I'm sorry.
This is tough. Can we throw a NASCAR question in there?
Yeah, no.
Our final question. Who was the first WNBA player to dunk in a playoff game?
Jeff. Is it Lisa Leslie?
No.
Oh, wow. I thought that
Noah. Cheryl Swoops?
No.
These are tough questions.
I'm not sure. I remember the moment. Brittany Griner was the second one. Free her. But I don't know the first one.
I don't know. I have no idea. Hunter, you got anything?
Sue Bird?
No.
I got nothing. I got absolutely nothing.
The correct answer is Brittany Griner.
Wait, what? Sorry, repeat the question?
It was a playoff game.
It was a playoff game. She was not the first person to dunk in the WNBA, but it was the first for the playoffs.
Are you?
In disbelief.
You were right there.
There's got to be more questions.
Nope, that was question number 10. And Jeff is the winner with getting 4 correct.
All right, well, thank you for tuning in for that domination by Jeff Morrison. I can't say I didn't expect it.
Wow.
Yeah, Eric was the favorite going in. I'm glad I could, defy the odds here and pick up the win. But hopefully we'll do this again sometime.
Yeah.
Maybe we could do some later this year, like football themed, or we could do college basketball themed in March.
Maybe something that's not themed
Hopefully,
to your strengths.
Hopefully I can get in a single point.
But thank you for tuning in for this segment on the A Game.
Thanks for tuning into this week's episode of the A Game, and make sure to keep following us for all your sports news.
Make sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at the A Game Sports, and to check out App TV on YouTube.
On behalf of my co-host and myself, have a great weekend.